What's up everyone, Brad here with the Money Dad channel. In this video I'm going to talk about a stock ticker SOS. I am slowly falling in love with this company and stock, and I'm going to talk about the reason why, all of the reasons why in this video. In fact, there's like 7 of them, so I'm going to go over every single one of them in this video, show you why I really think that this stock, this chart is pointing to massive gains, profit potential in the near-term future. I mean, as early as tomorrow and going forward over the next couple of months as well. There's just a ton to love on this chart. All that said, I am not a financial advisor, so please make sure you are doing your own due diligence, your own research. Do not make any trades based solely off of this video, okay? So let's jump right in. SOS, in a nutshell, is a Bitcoin mining company. They are purchasing mining equipment, they are mining Bitcoin, and they're selling it for revenue. That is the big story here. So the risk here with SOS is that they're going to be tied to the price of Bitcoin. But as long as Bitcoin stays at the level that it's at or goes up, then SOS is going to continue to do very well. So that is probably their biggest risk. Now let's jump into all of the reasons why I think this stock is going to go up from here. Number one is that risk. They are a Bitcoin mining company. I know I said it's a risk, but I also think that that is a good thing because I am a believer in Bitcoin going up over the long term. So these Bitcoin mining companies, I think they're going to do well as long as they're not overvalued in the short term like some other stocks. I think SOS is kind of an undervalued stock right now in the Bitcoin mining game. So that, so that's first and foremost, right? Because that's going to be the biggest make or break for SOS, whether or not Bitcoin continues to do well. Number two, the reason why I started to fall in love with this company today, and it was, I was just kind of neutral on this company, to be completely honest, until today. I read this article right here. Their leadership came out and responded very aggressively, very strong, a true leadership type article. When you read this, you really get a feeling like, man, the leadership at this company truly cares about the future of this company. They want to make sure that their shareholders are taken care of, and they just want to keep building this company, right? So take a look at this article right here. Basically, the reason why SOS has crashed so hard over the last week or two is because of these allegations that they were a fake company because they're based in China and people don't really have, eyes on them because, this is the New York Stock Exchange. Look, we're in the United States. We are geographically separated pretty far from China, right? Kind of on the opposite side of Earth. So there's not a whole lot of eyes on this company, right? In person. So it's easy to go online and create all this fear that this is a fake company, right? Because we're not over there, we're not standing right next to their headquarters, their building, right? So they came out, SOS came out and addressed the public on this with a very strong message. I'm just going to read it because it's not that long. It's 3 paragraphs. I'm not going to get into about the company. So SOS was recently attacked by short sellers with distorted, misleading, and unsubstantiated claims regarding the company. The company also believes certain social media accounts of some company board members may have been impersonated or disabled for short periods of time. The company believes these attacks were purposefully designed to manipulate the price of the company's shares with the aim of causing a stock price decline in order to economically benefit the short sellers, to the detriment of the company's public shareholders. SOS stands behind the integrity of the company and remains committed to maintaining transparency and the highest ethical principles. SOS reserves all rights that it may have against these short sellers and will defend itself vigorously against those behind these attacks and misleading allegations. The company is preparing a more detailed response to the false innuendo and lies that are being spread about the company. SOS looks forward to vigorously defending itself, addressing these matters, and providing more information in the coming days. The company also plans to enhance its investor relations capabilities in the future. In the meantime, please submit any inquiries that you have about this rapidly developing situation to this email address. The company will consider these inquiries and address them collectively in a consolidated response. I mean, this is an awesome response from SOS. They not only addressed the what seems to be fake allegations, they also said, hey, look, if you want to contact us, hit us up here and we will respond to your concerns. I mean, this is just fantastic from this company. So that really turned me on to the leadership at this company. So now that I've got those two kind of fundamental reasons why I like SOS, let's jump into the technicals with number 3. So I've got this trend line drawn out right here, right? This trend line started with a very strong move to the upside back here in January, and then we just took off to the upside. We retraced a lot because of those allegations, right? And just a general market sell-off. But today, with this big green candlestick, we got above that trend line. So we now have it as a floor underneath us. So that is key. That's strong support. You can see it was 1, 2, 3 times over here, and now it acted as resistance right here. And now it's underneath us, so it's acting as support again. So that's a good thing to have it underneath us, okay? So that's a big reason number 3. Number 4, we have this gap above us right here that we should be gravitating towards, and that gets us all the way up to the $9.70 range, right? We don't have any gaps to the downside unless you go all the way back to May of last year. I'm pretty sure that's far enough behind us to not worry about it, right? But we have this gap to the upside as recent as 10 days ago. So I would think, according to gap theory, that we are going to gravitate towards that gap. So we are going to more than likely keep heading up, fill that gap. And I think that's just, the first stop to much higher gains from there. But I'm pretty confident that we're going to fill this gap at this point, and that'll get us to at least that $9.70 range, okay? So that is point number 4. Point number 5, the volume profile. This volume is looking absolutely fantastic. In fact, this massive volume candle right here, really? It's not a candle, it's a bar. This volume bar right here, it's so big that SOS had the most volume in the entire American stock market today. The entire stock market. We can go over to bar chart, most active daily volume leaders. We can see SOS is number 1 at the top of the leaderboard with 328 million shares traded. I mean, they just took over today. And yeah, that has a lot to do with their stock price only being $8, so you can trade a lot of shares. But I mean, when you look at the news, everybody's talking about Rocket right now. Everybody's talking about Apple and Neo and GameStop and things like that. There's not a whole lot of people talking about SOS right now. And it was the number 1 traded stock today by volume. So this volume profile right here is looking very good. Look at this spike, this first small spike in volume. What happened with the price action when that happened? Boom, huge move to the upside. What happened right here? Boom, move to the upside. What happened right here when we had big volume? Boom, move to the upside. So what do we have? We have this curling up volume right here. This is indicative that we are about to have a big spike in price as well to coincide with the massive volume move. Volume equals attention, guys. As attention on a stock grows, investors come in, right? Traders come in. Retail investors come in. I think we are just starting here with the price of SOS. It's just my opinion. I'm not trying to get you guys too excited here, but I do think there is potential for massive gains on this stock. So that's just one more indicator, okay? We are also pretty oversold still on the RSI. I didn't even add that to my list because I just noticed it right now, but that's another good indicator. Anyway, number 6, let's get into some Fibonacci. I don't talk about Fibonacci very much on this channel, but I feel like this one was a good one. I wanted to show you guys some Fibonacci retracement levels because they just kind of matched up really well. I don't do it too often on this channel. I think I've done it like once or twice in like a Bitcoin video. But we take the low on the chart, right? So we got it all the way down here. trace up to the high on the chart, which is right here. I'm going to trace over a little bit just to make it a little bit more clean. All right, so we have the low, the high. We pull our Fibonacci up, and we can see all of these Fibonacci retracement levels. Look what happened, guys. When we retraced from the high on SOS, we retraced all the way down to that 78% range. I mean, that is as far as it gets. We retraced all the way. If we would have gone any lower than that, there wouldn't have been any more support from a Fibonacci retracement level perspective. I mean, that was the floor, and then the zero was the floor after that. You know, not exactly zero, but you get what I'm saying, right? So we bounced off of that bottom level, and we have been heading higher since. Now look at these candlesticks that we've been that we just put in over the last 2 days. We got back up into that 61% range, and then we tested that 50% range and bounced underneath it. So very interesting to see that we're getting back up into these zones of Fibonacci. We bounced right off of this bottom one. Very good look from a Fibonacci perspective. It just retraced perfectly. And now that we've put in that support, that bottom wave, it really looks like we're just heading higher. I do think we're just going to keep cutting through all of these levels, but just to be safe, you know, we do want to keep tracking all of these price ranges just to see, okay, are we going to butt our heads up against one of these or two of these even, and retrace back down to the next level below it. You know, like that is something to keep track of. From a Fibonacci perspective, the support underneath us would be at that $6.84 range. Okay, so that would be the support underneath us from a Fibonacci perspective. And then as we keep trekking higher, I would consider, you know, the next lowest level from a Fibonacci retracement perspective to be the level of support. So, you know, if we break into this green range right here, then $8.58 would be the level of support, and so on. So that's another reason why I'm pretty bullish on SOS. Fibonacci retracement levels really played out just perfectly on this one, and I think we can use these levels as support and resistance going forward. So from a Fibonacci perspective, it doesn't mean that we are going to shoot to the moon, but we can use this tool to keep track of support and resistances because we've seen it play out really well right here with this level. So it's just one more tool in our toolbox that we can kind of use to trade this stock if it's going to keep chopping up and down. So let's clear this one off and get to the last reason why I am super bullish on this. And it has nothing to do with my opinion. It has everything to do with the opinions of a couple of other sites. TradingView has a buy rating based on the technicals on SOS. And then Bar Chart also has a strong buy rating and ranks it in the top 1% of all short-term signal directions. Not only are they bullish in the short term, their long-term indicators fully support a continuation of the trend. So both Bar Chart and TradingView are very bullish on this stock chart. Okay, guys, so a lot of information in this video. I hope you enjoyed all of it, got some value out of it. Maybe you at least learned another tool or trend or way to look at charts or companies. If you did, hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. And if you're not a subscriber yet, hit the subscribe button. We do stock chart pattern analysis. We do stock analysis. We make some trades on this channel. And I also have a join feature if you're interested in contributing to me, my family, and my channel. It's only $2.99 a month, and you will get access to my live streams recorded after they've been live. You'll get access to my trades, my buys and sells. I post them to YouTube community posts so you can see what I'm buying and selling. But the big thing for me really is just supporting my family. We appreciate it so much. So that's what I've got, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Long story short, pretty bullish on SOS in the short and medium term, at least going forward. Okay, guys. So I will be looking for trades on this chart. I am long this stock already. But I may even look into adding to that position as we hit support and resistance levels. All right, guys, that's what I got for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.